Hi, this is Adam, and today I'm going to show you my 2011 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. We live out here in Ohio. It's winter time. We've had wind snow already and there's salt on the road, so make sure you go out and spray off your frame. Use the degreaser, then use some soap and then the water. Make sure your frame's clean and dry. Bring it back. This is how to make Groil, which is your own undercoating. Now, I seen this video myself. It's the only one like it online earlier. However, he did use two general purpose grease, which I got right here. We're going to use 1/4 motor oil. He used used oil because he said he was being cheap. However, used oil is acidic, so you do want to use regular motor oil. I'm just using a 5W30. That way I can get the consistency of what I want. Outside of that, you are going to need a quart of boiled linseed oil. This is something that is going to be a binding factor. So when you mix in the grease with your motor oil, you put the linseed oil in last. You got to make sure that you mix it up well. By mixing it well, what you're going to do is this stuff hardens. So an oil spray stays wet. So your salt's going to get up in there. The oil is going to drip off. Halfway through winter, most of your oil is going to drip off of your vehicle, and the salt's going to start eating away. Yes, an oil spray is going to help, but it is not going to help like something that will harden up. This is not going to be completely hardened, but it's going to tack up quite a bit. So it's going to keep it from dripping off and leaving your frame and your metal, unprotected. Now, the reason we are using the regular motor oil, and that's brand new and not the used oil, is because we don't want to have the acid eat the rubber bushings that's on your lift kit, your ball joints, your tie rods, your pitman arm. Anything that's got bushings is going to need to be taken care of, and you want to use regular oil so that you don't eat it up. As you can see here, I'm just using a paint stick. I already have 1 tube of grease. So, get ready to go with number 2. You just get your paint stick down in there, and you just start digging. Now you can use a metal bucket if you have one. Put it on a hot plate on a really low heat, because the stuff is flammable. But the low heat will actually help it bond and mix together better. However, I don't have anything around here that I can use right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and mix mine. It's about 46 degrees today, so it's not going to need to be frozen or heated. Nice. So, when you're mixing, don't use cheap paint sticks. Get a better one. This is a Home Depot cheapie, which, thankfully, I grabbed a spare. And if this breaks, I'll go in and make my lovely wife give me one of her kitchen utensils, and I'm sure she'll love that. Grease will have a tendency to last longer on your frame than the oil will. It'll be stickier. It's actually a pretty nice compound. Used oil sprays in the past, but they did end up wearing out bushings. If you got a mud buggy or a Jeep, or just your daily driver, doesn't really matter. You live in the Northeast United States, the salt's terrible. Unless you're in Pennsylvania, and they're the only smart ones that still use cinder. They'll actually give you a ticket if you pull over with rust on your vehicle in their state. So we got that. We're going to use 1 whole quart motor oil. I'm not going to pour it all in at once. I'm going to just start mixing. As you can see in my bucket here, it'll start mixing, and it'll start binding. And the oil is cutting down the grease some. this is going to make it more sprayable. It's going to look like a nice pancake batter, but I wouldn't suggest it to try to eat it. Try to get as much of the grease as you can in there. Now total, which will include the gun that I have right here. I picked this up at Harbor Freight. It was like $20. So the $20 there, I think I got 5 in that. It's 25. Got $1.50 in the quart of oil. So now I'm looking at $26.50, and I probably got $4 in the grease. So I'm right around $30.50 for the entire setup. Some places may do oil sprays cheaper, but I'm telling you the oil spray itself is not going to be as good. If you're a guy like me that don't mind getting a little dirty and doing your own work, you know what your values are and how good of a coat you're going to put on compared to having somebody else do it and don't know if they're having a bad day, if they're running short on supplies, or if they're just in a hurry. So I like to make sure my stuff's protected. And then for the consistency, oil. Weather was warm enough, so I definitely don't need to heat it. You have your yard dog out here. You got a trusty Ellie Mae. Always out hanging out with us, seeing what's going on. But if you got a 4-wheel drive, you most likely get a dog. Alright, consistency not quite runny, but it's just there. Now it's going to be time to add the linseed oil. I'm just using a pair of gloves. Handy dandy pocket knife. There she goes.
Look up the linseed oil. You'll see it's used for crafts. It is also a bonding agent. I did a little research after watching the video I seen. I think it was an excellent idea. Oh, you don't want to lick that, Ellie Mae. I know it smells good to me, but that's because I'm used to being in the garage. Yeah, make sure you're mixing it and you're mixing it well. You don't want any of this stuff not to be combined, not to be mixed. So just take your time. Make sure you mix it well. You know, just like a cake or anything else, your batter should be mixed to the right consistency. And it's going to be mixed well so that your cake comes out right. Same thing. Last additive I'm going to go ahead and try, which this was not in the video, but I got a buddy who's been a certified mechanic for over 30 years, diesel mechanic, auto mechanic. He's also an engineer, and you know, his old saying is, I add Marvel Mystery Oil to everything. So I'm going to add a little Marvel Mystery Oil. Nobody here is a sponsor. I'm just putting this in because I thought it would be worth a shot just to give it a little bit of extra. Of course, it's child-proof and I can't get it off. Yeah, I'm going to put a whole lot of that in there, just enough. Remember, you got 2 tubes of grease, 1 full quart of oil, 1 full quart of linseed oil, boiled linseed oil. And mix it up good. I'm going to add a little bit of diesel fuel if you want to, or you can add the Marvel Mystery Oil, Seafoam, maybe even the Lucas version of the Seafoam. But be careful because some of those products do have ethanol in them, and that's going to go ahead and eat your rubber. You don't want anything that's alcohol based, and it ought to be petroleum based if you're going to use it. You see my consistency. You gotta make sure that it's thin enough to go through your sprayer. Now, went ahead and got me, like I said, this box right here. Just got me this top feed gravity gun, Harbor Freight. It's $20. Don't believe it comes with the fitting, so I'm gonna have to get back to you because I just remembered that. So stay tuned. You feel it here? Goes in through here. Works right through your air compressor. We'll be back.